Hello everybody and welcome to the Oneness Show. This is David.
And this is B.
And together we are
Bards of Avalon.
Well, we met 10 years ago at Stonehenge and we started singing there, and we've been singing and visiting sacred sites ever since. And one thing that we discovered was that we have a passion for singing our love, thanks and respect to the land wherever we're travelling. And it was, in fact, back at Stonehenge 8 years ago that we first found out about this notion of perpetual choirs. And then we realised that a lot of what we do is very much in keeping with the ancient ideas of the perpetual choirs. So what are these perpetual choirs? Well, if you look at the ancient Welsh bardic texts, you'll find out that they were actually a team of 2,400 singers, and they would actually work on a rotation basis, singing 24/7, and the purpose of this was to actually heal and enchant the land, so that whoever lived in this land would actually be in harmony with the land, and the land would actually respond to those who lived on it. So the bardic texts refer to three main choirs, one based in Llantwit Major in Wales, and the others in Glastonbury and Amesbury, which is near Stonehenge. And the centre of this area is white-leaved oak, and it's a part where three counties in England all meet in Herefordshire and Worcestershire and Gloucestershire. So in this video we're just going to talk a little bit about our experiences of the perpetual choirs. And so now I'm going to hand over to David, who's going to tell you a bit more.
Thank you. In April 2009, we were going to a talk by David Elkington in Bristol on sacred sites. He couldn't make it and was replaced by John Gibson-Forty. When we found out what the talk was, it was on the perpetual choirs, we were very happy, as we already knew quite a bit about this. He explained that he spent 3.5 years actually dowsing the songlines, so he went to every part of the grid. He found that it was 130 miles across and formed a decagon. We were so impressed with the talk that we decided that it would be a really good idea to go to the centre point, and so that we could actually feel the energy of the place and really connect with the songlines. The following month we went to some of the sites on the way with John, and then we went into the centre point where the white-leafed oak stands. When we arrived at the white-leafed oak, we said to him, could he measure the width of one of the lines going through the tree. He measured the line for us, and we decided that it would be a good idea if this was marked off, and then we could do some singing to the tree and to the lines. So we used our intention and we used our voices to sing the praises to the tree, to honour the tree, and also we used sacred water from the Chalice Well and the White Spring in Glastonbury. When we did this, we had two results. The first result was the line had doubled in width, which amazed John, and we went back and did the second part of the experiment where it actually got wider again.
So if we fast forward now to autumn 2012, we spotted that the Paradigm Shift Roadshow was coming to our hometown of Bristol on the auspicious date of 11th of November 2012, and we both thought, yes, we definitely want to be involved in something like that. So we gave Claire Williams a ring, and we were discussing the possibility of giving a presentation, and we agreed that actually what we would do would be a sacred sites presentation, just going through some of our experiences of our journeys around the world. And David just kept getting the sense of, I have to revisit the John Gibson-Forty work, and he wanted to check if his book had actually been published. We'd been hoping and praying that his book were to be published, but he was struggling to find a publisher a few years back. Anyway, we were delighted to find out that it had indeed been published. Here it is, magnificent work. And So,
yeah. So once we found out that the book had been published, the next thing that came into my mind was I needed to revisit the photography work that I'd done at the event. So I'd taken pictures of the whole decagon, and I'd actually done some close-up shots as well, so that I could see where the line was going, or various lines were going. I've really focused on Bristol, and I kept getting the message that I really need to look at it very closely. And as I looked closer and closer to the Bristol section of it, I realised that it went through the hotel, which absolutely amazed me, because it could literally go anywhere. And not only did it go through the hotel, but it curves twice when it gets towards the hotel to actually go through the hotel on a bend. This is very unusual for lines to be going like that. So I knew it was really important that this information had to go out to everyone else. So I made a video specifically showing this.
So you can imagine just how gobsmacked we were, because we discovered that Tim Wheater was doing a presentation and a concert the night before, on the 10th. And we found out that the hotel had actually switched his room to the Elm Room, which is where we ended up on the Sunday. Now, we had the conscious intent that because we actually had all this wonderful sound, not just from ourselves, but also from people like Tim, and there was also Louis Krieg there, a number of other sound practitioners. And we thought, well, our sounds, combined sounds, plus the intention, is really going to have a profound effect on the lines. Now, this line, if you remember, it comes all the way from the white-leafed oak. It actually passes through Bristol, but then it goes through places such as Stanton Drew, Wells Cathedral, and ends up in Glastonbury Abbey. So we were really excited that this would be such an important date, because this was a major day, the 11th of November, a number of light workers gathering around the planet, doing meditations, doing sound, whatever it took to raise the vibration of human consciousness.
We were very excited on that morning, because we knew that we really wanted Claire to be there and to experience the energies that were coming through at 11:11, and also to know that this was on the Songline. I went and asked her, and she said, look, I'm very busy. I don't think I could make it for 11:11, but I will come in the afternoon sometime. Later in the afternoon, when she came into the room, we put the video on for this, and it explained everything that had happened with John. And when it came to the slide showing the line going through Bristol, and zoomed in, and actually ended up showing the line with the hotel overlaid over the top, you could see the line going directly through the hotel on the curve. So it came down and up and then down again, and it was right on the top edge of that line. It was perfectly centered on it. So her jaw dropped. She was amazed. And I said to her, why did you book this hotel? And she said, I had no idea. This is the one that I was guided to come to. And Bristol had to be the place I had to come. And I said, so now you know the answer of why this hotel was booked for this special day. And this was the only day that was available for a conference, was the 11th of November. So everything was already aligned in perfection. So she said to us, well, I think you need to write something about this, and if you do, I'll publish it in the magazine in the next issue. So this is what we wrote.
Ta-da!
And then she said, I've got an online magazine, and this online magazine would then be able to show all of the things that had happened. And so we said, well, we'd love to make a little video of that.
If you'd like to read the article, go to www.paradigmshiftmagazine.com.
If you'd like to find out more about what we do, including our album, The Archangel Transmissions, sound baths, ceremonies, and play shops, visit www.bardsofavalon.com.